Welcome back to Wolf Guitars and Gear, where we help you get fat tones from a skinny wallet. First off, I want to apologize. It's been so long since I've done a video for you guys. A lot has happened since that time. My third daughter's been born. We've moved houses, hence the new surroundings. I've had COVID, so I still have a little bit of a persistent cough that's been bothering me, making it hard to speak for long periods of time. So there's been some challenges. And on top of that, it's just, like I said, it's just been incredibly busy. But the good thing is I have some new gear that's hopefully going to help me up my quality of my videos from here on out to where hopefully they can be just a little bit better than what they've been, because I always want to deliver the best possible content that I can. And so with that in mind, today I want to tackle a topic that I think maybe a lot of people misunderstand, and that is the difference between some common wiring types. Now, one thing is that a lot of people will have a modern wired guitar. That's what most of them come in today. And certainly this guitar here is no different. It's my Epiphone 335, inspired by Gibson. It's a modern wired guitar. And what does that mean? It means that the tone capacitor is connected to the tone pot in a certain way. And so it's going to give you some very distinct pros and some very distinct cons. And just depending on what type of player you are will help you decide which one is going to best suit you. One of the big pros of doing a modern wired guitar is that you have a very consistent sound. When you turn down the tone, you're turning down tone. When you turn down the volume, you're just turning down volume. And so it's very predictable, and so I think that's the reason why a lot of modern guitar companies will use the modern wiring, is because of that predictability. So let's hear what that sounds like, because it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to hear it. So I'm just going through a patch on my Fractal. It's a Tweed Deluxe and a Super, and so it's going to sound something like this. Just a simple G chord neck pickup, all the knobs all the way on 10. So nothing super amazing. It's what you'd expect. It's reasonably bright. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take the tone down to about 7. Let's try it again. So again, you can see it right away. We've lost some highs, but the volume is still exactly the same. Take the down to 5 on the tone. A little bit darker still. Down to 3. Pretty dark. Tone off. There's almost no highs at all. Okay? So let's go ahead and bring that tone knob all the way back up. Now let's try the sweep on the volume knob. Once again, there's 10. Here's about 7. So as you can hear, you're starting to lose some highs, but you're also starting to lose some volume. Down to about 5. Quite a bit of volume gone. 3. Barely on, and of course off you get nothing. But let's go to about 5 on volume and about 5 on tone and see what we get. So fairly dark, but let's see what happens if we turn that tone knob all the way up. It just gets brighter, it doesn't change anything else. So now with them both back on 5, as you can hear, rolling the volume in just gives you more volume. And that's what you get. So how does that interact with gain? Let's go ahead and try that. So here's with a little bit of gain. Everything all the way up. Let's go ahead and turn the tone down. So that's 7. Okay, let's go to 5. So again, you're losing more highs, more definition, down to about 3. Pretty dark, all the way off. Kind of gives you that Eric Clapton thing though. I don't particularly love that sound. Maybe you do. Anyways, here you go. Here's bringing that volume down. So everything on 10. There's the volume on 7. Let's bring it down to about 5. So we're starting to clean up pretty considerably at about 5, down to about 3. Very clean, but not a lot of power. And it is getting pretty dark as well, just by getting to that point on the volume knob. So that's kind of how it works with a modern style guitar. Now let's switch to a 50s wired guitar. So here we have, it's just a kit Telecaster that I built. It's got the bootstrap pickups, extra crispy pickups in here. Again, we're just going to use the neck pickup. I know right away it's going to be brighter, and some of you will comment that in the comments just based on that, but that's really not what I'm after. I know there's a tonal difference between the humbuckers and a Tele neck pickup. I totally get that. Not discounting that whatsoever, but this is more about the way that your controls interact with one another. So, again, back to clean, just a G chord. That's everything all the way up. So let's take the tone knob and roll that back to about 7 or so. Very subtle difference. Back to about 5. Starting to take a little bit more highs now. Back to about 3. You're losing some highs, but it's still very usable. And here's all the way off. So again, you have the sweep, but to me that sound feels very usable all the way across the board, and you maintain a lot of brightness all the way. So now let's try the sweep of the volume knob. Everything on 10. Down to about 7, as you can hear. Still maintains the brightness, but we've lost quite a bit in the volume and gain push. Down to about 5. Significantly quieter. 3. Maintains pretty much the same brightness, but just hardly any power. So that's pretty interesting. So let's take it to about 5 on each. So that's where we are. Now if we take the tone control and we roll the tone all the way up, it got brighter, but it also got slightly louder, which is kind of the magic of the 50s wiring, is that as you're playing with both the knobs, they affect both. And so once again, let's start off at the top. Let's take that down to a little bit right there at 7, where you can kind of hear that volume start to dip a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna, do you hear that? Here's the tone knob all the way up. Let's sweep it down. Now you're at about 5 on the tone. That's the tone knob I'm moving, and you can hear the difference in both the tone and the volume as I'm doing that, which to me is extremely interesting, probably more so when you start using some overdrive. So let's go ahead and try some things with overdrive. Here it is, everything on 10. take that tone knob down a little bit to about 5. Pretty nice. Let's start rolling down the volume a little bit. That's with the volume at about 8. You hear how clean that got? So yeah, we're at about 7. And we're essentially clean with a nice mellow tone. Let's go ahead and turn that tone knob up just a little bit. Let's go to about 7. Oh, look at that. It's a little bit brighter, but you're also getting a little bit of that drive back. Back to 5. Back to 7. 5. 7. That's just the tone. Tone all the way up. Here's the volume at about 8. Tone knob all the way up, down to about 7, down to 5, tone down to about 3. As you can hear, that's way clean. So hopefully that helps you see just how interactive those two knobs can be and how it can give you so many really pretty shades in between. You know, varying both your gain and your tone. So I really like it. It's helped me to really start using the dynamics on my guitar as well as in my hands, I think, to make me a better player. So I very much like it. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Get in the comments and let me know which style of wiring that you prefer. Thanks for stopping by Wolf Guitars and Gear, where we help you get fat tones from a skinny wallet. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit like, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time right here. Have a great week.